Here's exactly how to set up your camera to use the exact camera settings I've used at my photo business for, I don't know, the last 5 years. We've literally made millions of dollars with these exact settings. So I'm gonna go step by step through the camera. If you have a different camera, this is an EOS RP, it'll be slightly different, but the same settings will work across a bunch of different cameras. Before you're like, Eli, how can I use the same settings? Every shoot's different. Well, there's one setting we're gonna change based upon the lighting, which is shutter speed, and then we'll change white balance, and I'll talk to you about that. The rest of the settings stay fixed. That's one of the things I like about real estate photography. It's kind of set it and forget it. So first thing I'm gonna set up is the most important setting, which is auto exposure bracketing. So what that's gonna do is, you can see when I move this wheel up here, I'm moving the camera and I'm telling it, whenever I take a photo, I want you to take 3 photos. One that's underexposed by 2 stops is the distance I recommend, then like a middle exposure, and then overexposed by 2 stops. When you turn on this setting, you also need to make sure to have your 2-second timer on. So you can see here, the 2-second timer, drive mode, and that little 2 means 2-second timer. If you don't have that on, it's not gonna take the 3 photos. Okay, so then let's cover the basic settings. So aperture, we always shoot on f9, and then ISO, we're shooting on 250. And then what we're actually changing, you can see right here, when I move the shutter wheel, it's gonna move these little brackets down here. And what we're gonna do is, all we're changing at shoots is moving it till the shutter's in the middle. And then watch what happens when I take this photo. You're gonna hear it counting down, and then it took 3 photos. So there's an overexposed photo, and that really exposes for the shadows over here and the different parts of the image. And then we have an underexposed photo, and that's gonna get the sky and the lighter parts of the image. And then just like a correctly exposed photo. And then what we do with those 3 photos is we send those to editing, and those 3 get blended into one final photo, taking the pieces of each photo that is correctly exposed. So that's how you get, when you and I, like right now, when you're looking at this, you're on video, so it's a little harder, but like I can see the blue sky and I can see the darkest shadows just fine. Cameras don't have that same level of, it's called dynamic range, is how big of a field of light they can see basically. And so taking 3 photos allows us to fix that issue. Okay, so like I said, shutter speed we adjust, aperture is f9, ISO we leave on 250, and then we're shooting on RAW. The only thing that we really change other than that is gonna be white balance. So when I'm outside and it's sunny, I'm gonna choose the daylight setting. If it's cloudy, I'm gonna choose cloudy. And then inside, I'm gonna switch to auto. And that, these photos are RAW photos, so that means that the white balance can be changed after the fact just as well as if we changed it in here. I just like to get it a little bit closer for the editors. So I'm gonna shoot, daylight because it's nice daylight, there's not a ton of clouds, and then inside I'll shoot auto so the camera can kind of adjust. We're shooting on manual, that's how you change all these settings. And then depending on the camera you use, so this is an EOS RP, which is a full frame camera, meaning the sensor in here is a little bigger than a crop sensor camera. You see that on a more expensive camera. All that means is we don't need as wide of a lens. So I'm shooting 16 millimeter for most of my shots. That's as wide as this lens goes. And that's what I need for real estate in this case. And then I'm shooting on manual focus between 1 meter. Let's see if we can focus there. 1 meter and infinity. And so I don't even have to touch my focus setting at all. And this, it sounds simple, and you may even see people in the comments go like, that's not how to shoot real estate. You don't have to do that. We've literally shot thousands of houses with these camera settings, and our photos look great. So that's exactly how to set up your camera. If you have any trouble or have a question on those camera settings, just go ahead and comment below.